guys, how you doing? I'm here with the Sensei Enson Inoue. I just got done doing his seminar. Awesome technique, also very wise words. I learned a lot and like improved my mind, guys. So today, right now, we're doing an interview with Sensei Enson Inoue. Yay! Sensei, please introduce yourself to people who don't know who you are, Sensei.
All right. Hello, my name is Enson Inoue, born and raised in Hawaii, live in Japan. Fought MMA for a long time, fought in UFC 13 Pride Championships, and was the first Shooto champion.
How old were you and how did you start in martial arts?
I think my first martial arts lesson was actually in karate when I was like 5. That lasted like a week because on the last day of the first week I got tripped in my stance, cried and ran out and quit. But then after that, actually I got really into it when I was in high school, about 16 or 15, started Wing Chun, Muay Thai, and started training a lot for the streets. When I was 16 or 17, I found Jiu-jitsu, and up until today, I started training Jiu-jitsu.
What do you think about the current state of JMMA and its future?
Well, the current state right now is just on an uprise. After Pride had the big controversy with the Yakuza involvement, and it went off TV and it fell flat. 7 years passed, and Sakaki Bado, who sold Pride to Dana White, actually started up a new event called Rising. And you know, at first it was kind of, you know, we were kind of watching the fights, and it's not the same, but honestly, in the last couple of years, Rising has come back, and the last year I've been watching all the Rising fights. I think it's back on a surge. I felt the same atmosphere that I felt when I was fighting Pride. So Japan MMA is coming back, it's getting strong, and it's definitely back on the rise. It's going to be back soon, 100%.
Who is your favorite JMMA fighter if you have one?
Man, there's so many of them. One that really comes off to me right away is Sakuraba. The way that guy used to just fight in a week's notice, fight any size people, and what I really liked about Sakuraba was his humbleness. Very humble guy. No matter how famous he got, whenever you saw him, he was always the same guy. So I would have to say maybe Sakuraba is one of my favorites.
Alright. Who inspired you as a fighter?
Well, when I first started fighting, I started with Gracies Jiu-jitsu, so the Gracies has inspired me. Their willingness to die in the ring was something that I really took to heart. And if you have to specifically point certain Gracies, I think Royce, when he came up in the UFC and started, you know, showing what Gracies Jiu-Jitsu was, that was inspiring to me. And then later on in my career, Renzo was a big inspiration to me. His mindset and his belief was something that I admire and I respect today. Yeah, so the Gracies were my inspiration.
Guys, now time for fan questions, guys. First one is by Jeff Nishi. Sensei, as a kid, what do you think you're going to be?
Oh, okay. When I was a kid, what I dreamed of being was a baseball player. I used to play baseball in high school and went to one-year college, didn't get put on the team, but up until college, my whole dream as a kid was to be a professional baseball player. If not, I was on the regular route of, you know, finishing high school, going to college, getting a degree, and getting a 9-to-5 job. So I probably would just be a normal person if I didn't enter the ring and become a fighter.
Next question by Roberto Villalobos. Sensei, what is your favorite Pride moment?
My favorite Pride moment was, maybe not at the time, but when I think back, was my fight with Igor. The fact that I could push myself to the limit and go beyond my body's limits, and mentally overcome that. That was probably one of my favorite moments. I got put directly into the hospital after the fight, stayed in for 3 months, had a perforated eardrum, broken jaw, dislocated finger. I had a kidney that was 2,000 times the count of a normal person. So almost at the verge of death. And the fact that I didn't actually acknowledge the pain, and I was in my heart, I kept wanting to fight, was something that really is memorable to me, and something that I learned a lot about myself as a man. So my most memorable moment would be, which ironically, the beating that I got from Igor.
Next question by Junie Boy. who do you think is at the top of your pound for pound JMMA list?
Definitely Horiguchi. Kyoji Horiguchi, I think he's from Nori's school, Killer Bee, Crazy Bee. He's pound for pound, I think, one of the strongest, the fastest, most agile fighters there is. I believe that he's, in Japan now, the best fighter that we have.
Next question by Brian McLaughlin. How was it training with Enson Gracie in the early days, and was it hard switching academies?
Well, training with Enson was awesome. I liked his style because he was more training for the streets instead of competition jiu-jitsu. So we would really get down and dirty with the street techniques, the dirty techniques, quote-unquote illegal techniques. But Enson was really raw and like a brother to me. Hung out with him, watched videos. Whenever I wasn't on the mats, I was at his house, in his garage, or in his house watching videos. He used to cook for me. Training with Enson was awesome. He was like a brother to me. Switching academies was hard, but it happened with a falling out between Enson and Egan, and I really had no choice because when that happened, Enson gave me an ultimatum of either choosing Egan or him, and it's obvious the choice I made. So it was hard in a way because I didn't want to leave Enson and the students that I had under me and my fellow blue belts and purple belts. I didn't want to leave them, but it made it easy where I really had no choice. He made me choose my blood or him. So it wasn't too hard in a sense. It was hard.
Next question is by Alex Quinjo. Is your favorite setup different from the youth to current day?
My favorite setup would probably be the armbar front guard, and no, it's not. It's no difference. It's the same setup. It's the same approach, and in fact, I think in today's martial arts, a lot of people are looking into fancy, new, different moves, and they forget the basic. Say my armbar front guard. It's a real basic one, very nitty-gritty details that people start forgetting because they're looking for flash. But you know, my setup from the bottom, the armbar from the guard hasn't changed, and it's still my bread and butter.
Question by Dean Padua. Why did you start? Who inspired you? And why to now in martial arts?
Okay, so why did I start? I started because I wanted to protect myself on the streets. In Hawaii, there's a lot of street fights, so I started because if I got into a predicament where I had to fight and defend myself, I wanted to be able to successfully defend myself. So that's the reason why I started. The inspiration I got, of course, to start off in the beginning, the inspiration I got was from the streets, wanting to defend myself in the streets. As I trained, the next inspiration I got was from the Gracie brothers. The mindset, the willingness to die and train as hard as you can. And later on in life, when I got into become a professional fighter, I had inspiration from Mike Tyson. I loved the way he went in there ready to kill and ready to die. So that was the people that I had inspiration of. Until today, yeah, right now my inspiration is more on, if you have to pick a fighter, Michael Chandler. That guy's incredible. I love his mindset, his way of thinking, and the way he trains. So.
Last question by Mike Ula. What do you think of these older fighters getting back into fighting?
To each his own. If they feel they want to do it, it's fine. You know, you can have the opinion of, he's had such a good career. Why does he get back in the ring? You know, I remember a lot of times when these older fighters get back in the ring, it's not necessarily about money. It's that desire of a warrior to be in combat. Some of these guys just can't get it out of them. You know, for me, I'm done. I actually I got offers to fight again. The money looked good, but I'm done. As far as in my heart, the combat to fight is gone. And you know, the fighters that are coming back, I think they're just ones that just didn't get it out of them, and they need to get it out of them. So I sometimes I think, like, if it's my perspective, I would say they shouldn't. I don't like it. You know, Chuck Liddell especially has a good legacy. He shouldn't fight, but I don't know what's going on in Chuck's heart. I don't know what's going on in Chuck's mind. If Chuck has that hungry desire to get back in the ring and he craves that competition, hey, so be it, and good luck to him, and I favor what he's doing. So it depends on the person.
Thank you, arigatou gozaimasu, sensei. Thank you for the interview. I had such a good time, and I'll see you next time. Yamatamashi. Hey! Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Also, I just want to say thank you to Sensei Enson Inoue for giving me the opportunity to interview him. I had a chance to speak with Sensei Enson Inoue after the interview, and we just got talking about Yamatamashi, and in the end, he just said, no matter what you do in life, just give your all and do your best. Because as bad as you think it might be, it can be worse than that. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for watching the Phan JMMA show. The Phan Nihonjin no Sogato no show. Thank you very much, guys. See you later. Fire guy. Hey!
As we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, most death fearless. Even when we work, even when we play, every other day just struggle with the pain. Feel it in the chest, invest in the blessed. Nothing more, nothing less. Tricks.